If you don't believe in the devil, we dare you to watch this video. If you're enjoying our videos, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, hit that little bell icon to be notified every time we post a new video. The historic states along America's Atlantic seaboard have given birth to hundreds of ghostly tales and unusual stories over the years. One of the strangest is undoubtedly that of the Jersey Devil, a creature that is believed by some to be a mythical creature and by others a real-life monster of flesh and blood. Its origins date back to when New Jersey was still a British colony. The Jersey Devil is most often spotted in the Pine Barrens, but witnesses claim to have seen it as far away as Pennsylvania and even along the New Jersey coast. In some cases, although the devil is not actually sighted, there are reports of horrible screams in the night, then the discovery of strange tracks alongside dead livestock or pets the next morning. It has the ability to fly, and even though there are some accounts of it harming humans, in most cases it flees when confronted. The most concentrated outbreak of sightings occurred in January 1909, when as many as 50 separate sightings or encounters were reported over a one-week period. Many people saw the creature, including E.W. Minster, the postmaster of Bristol, Pennsylvania, which is just over the New Jersey border. He stated that he awoke around 2 in the morning and heard an eerie, almost supernatural sound coming from the direction of the Delaware River. He looked out the window and saw what looked to be a large crane that was flying diagonally and emitting a curious glow. The creature had a long neck that was thrust forward in flight, thin wings, long back legs, and shorter ones in the front. The creature let out a combination of a squawk and a whistle and then disappeared into the darkness. Sightings continued. On January 19, 1909, Mr. and Mrs. Nelson Evans were awakened in the early morning by the sound of a large animal on the roof of their shed. They described it as about 3.5 feet high, with a face like a collie and a head like a horse. It had a long neck, wings about 2 feet long, and its back legs were like those of a crane and it had horse's hooves. It walked on its back legs and held up 2 short front legs with paws on them. One afternoon of that same week, a Mrs. J.H. White was taking clothes off of her line when she noticed a strange creature huddled in the corner of her yard. She screamed and fainted, and her husband rushed out the back door to find his wife on the ground and the devil close by, spurting flames. She chased the monster with a clothesline prop, and it leaped over the fence and vanished. A short time later, the creature struck again. This time, it attacked a dog belonging to Mrs. Mary Sorbinski in South Camden. When she heard the cry of her pet in the darkness, she dashed outside and drove the devil away with a broom. The creature fled, but not before tearing a chunk of flesh from the dog. Mrs. Sorbinski carried her wounded pet inside and immediately called the police. The creature did not return again until 1927. A cab driver was changing a tire one night while headed for Salem. He had just finished when his car began shaking violently. He looked up to see a gigantic, winged figure pounding on the roof of his car. The driver, leaving his jack and flat tire behind, jumped into the car and quickly drove away. He reported the encounter to the Salem police. In August 1930, berry pickers at Leeds Point and Mays Landing reported seeing the devil crashing through the fields and devouring blueberries and cranberries. It was reported again 2 weeks later to the north, and then it disappeared again. In November 1951, a group of children were allegedly cornered by the devil at the Dupert Clubhouse in Gibbstown. The creature bounded away without hurting anyone, but reports claimed that it was spotted by dozens of witnesses before finally vanishing again. Sightings continued here and there for years, and then peaked once more in 1960 when blood-curdling cries terrorized a group of people near Mays Landing. State officials tried to calm the nervous residents, but no explanation could be found for the weird sounds. Policemen nailed signs and posters everywhere stating that the Jersey Devil was a hoax. The curiosity seekers flooded into the area anyway. Harry Hunt, who owned the Hunt Brothers Circus, offered $100,000 for the capture of the beast, hoping to add it to his sideshow attractions. Needless to say, the monster was never snared. The most recent sightings of the creature were said to have been in 1993 when a forest ranger named John Irwin was driving along the Mullica River in southern New Jersey. He was startled to find the road ahead of him blocked by the Jersey Devil. He described it as being about 6 feet tall with horns and matted black fur. Could this have been the reported Jersey Devil or some other creature altogether? Irwin stated that he and the creature stared at one another for several minutes before the monster finally turned and ran into the forest. In October of 2015, a New Jersey resident says he has photo evidence that he spotted the infamous Jersey Devil. Dave Black of Little Egg Harbor Township was driving past a golf course on Route 9 in Galloway when he spotted the monster. Black took a couple of pictures, but only one of them clearly showed the devil as described in dozens of stories. The photo showed a creature with dark brown fur, wings on its back, and cloven feet. He described it as a large flying mammal about the size of a deer. In November of 2015, a 32-year-old Pennsylvania construction worker posted a video to YouTube that shows what the man and his friend initially thought was a massive vulture. They quickly discerned that this was a creature with bat-like wings and goat features. Some cryptozoologists contend that the Jersey Devil is, in fact, a rare but undiscovered animal. But there is also the possibility that the Jersey Devil legend is just a myth, or a fantastic, supernatural tale made up to explain an animal that early settlers couldn't comprehend as a natural creature. But the fact remains that people are still seeing strange things in the Pine Barrens and surrounding areas. Supernatural or otherwise, there is something in the woods. Alright, Top Fivers, if you haven't already, make sure to visit our other channel, The Brilliant, for even more interesting list videos that'll blow your mind. But I'm warning you, the videos over on The Brilliant are extremely addicting to watch as well. There'll be a link in the description to the channel, so make sure to come and visit us. Or you can go to our latest video popping up on screen right now. Oh, and have you visited TheFinestPost.com to enjoy the most amazing articles you'll ever get to read?